Thank you for staying tuned. It is still the conversation here on Lagos Television, and on this side we are discussing a very, very, very important issue. And if you are a lover of food, everybody loves food, even though they say some people love food more. Everybody loves food, and so this is an important conversation that you need to pay more attention to. With the rising cost of food and the increasing need for healthier eating, more people are turning to home gardening, and that is growing their own vegetables, herbs and fruits right where they live. And this will lead us to our topic of discuss today: home gardening, planting what you eat. And joining us to explore the benefits, challenges and practical steps to start, especially for beginners, we have with us here a home garden expert, and he is Dr. Bola Adewara. You're welcome to the conversation.
Thank you so much. I'm glad to be here.
Glad to have you join us.
Thank you so much.
Whilst I was doing my introduction, I raised 2 points, which is the rising cost of food and the increasing awareness for nutritious food. Aside these 2 points, in your experience, what are the what would you say is driving the current surge of interest in home gardening?
Principally, I think the challenges we have in today has to do with the economic realities. But not just that, also the health benefit. Those 2 things go a very long way in driving these, I mean, if I speak for myself, my passion for the home gardening. Another reason has to do with, you see, people love to eat fresh now. You find a lot of people criticizing entering what we call it, the eateries. They will tell you don't eat all these, what do you call them, the fries, the meat pies and stuff that they always have a kind of side effect, you know, stuff like that there. And that it's good to eat fresh. There is, for me, there is the beauty of planting and going there when it's ripe, pluck and eat. You see, there is a joy in this. When I noticed that I have about 3 pawpaw trees in my compound there, big. Each pawpaw is as big as the basketball, you know, and just one tree has as much as 28 right now. Another one has about 16. The third one has about 32, you know. And when you go there and then you raise the stick and then you bring it down, and right there you cut it, it gives me that feeling that I am living in the village. Sincerely, somewhere in me, there is that feeling of a farmer. Right from the time I was young, I was born in the north. I was born in Zaria and schooled in Kaduna, but along the line somewhere, I found myself in Ile-Ife, not one of the Abba. I don't know, the children of this will not know what they call Abba. You know, Abba is, I think is the lowest form of communal living then. And I was there. I saw plants. I saw the idea of putting a seed in the soil, and then you saw it growing. Then there was a time I planted the head of the yam somewhere, and in some 6-7 months, we had a yam in just, you know, the drawer of the table there. We brought out the drawer. The drawer was not working any longer there. We just brought it down and put it there. I just put some sand, and I put the yam head there. It grew, and we harvested. And when it was brought out from the soil, when we harvested it, you see, there was a joy in me that day that, sorry, I wanted to speak my language, that, a me harvest yam. You see, since that time, the idea of having a garden was in me.
So it wasn't that you studied?
No, I didn't study agriculture. We did agriculture when I was in secondary school. It's so sad. I asked my son recently that, do you still study agriculture science? And they said, no, they don't do it. I don't know what is happening.
They don't do it anymore?
I don't know. Please, you need to find out if they're doing things about agriculture science there. But you see, when we were in secondary school, I schooled in Ede, Timi Agbale Grammar School Ede, we had agricultural teacher, agriculture master, and each student, I think from 1, will have the farm, you see. So you will have to take it there, and then that was where we learn all these things there. So it's in me. It's there, that joy. Another thing that makes some people to do this is that when you have your compound, a lot of people they cemented their compounds.
This will lead me to my next question now. That
all right.
How much space do you need? Because while you were talking, you talked about using a drawer that was not
just a drawer
anymore. And growing up, I remember that my mom used to have a farmland, but not even in our compound. We had cocoyam, bitter leaf, pawpaw, and then we had a farmland close to the house. But you don't see that today because, like you said, most houses, you have the landlords have cemented everywhere, and so this is a challenge. But how much space do you need now to get into having your home garden that's planting your own food? You
see, a lot of people feel that once the land is cemented, you cannot do anything there. No, that is not true. There are different types of garden. There's what we call the in-ground garden. That is your own building, and everywhere maybe you have your building at the back. Now you put the frontage, even the back. If you see my place there, I cemented just in front of the house and everywhere at the back there. The other end there, I left it, on cemented. Now, that's what we call the in-ground garden. The next one is what we call the container gardening. Container gardening is stuff where you can, look, a cup like this, you can plant in this cup. It will shock you. You can plant in this cup and you will harvest. If you get to my house, I have what do you call these jerry cans, these oil, these 5-liter oil there.
20 liters.
The 30 liters there. In the homes, many of you women, you have these things you call rubber, these Ike, go to so many homes, Ike, all over. These things you share in parties. There's this these bags too that you share in parties. All these things, I harvest them from my home there. My wife has we have a what do you call it, a store where all these things are. I just let her, she went to shop that very day, then I invaded that shop, that store. I brought everything out. Before she came, I had already perforated all the Ike and I put sand into them and I started planting. Now she cannot complain any longer. This is why I tell people, you don't really need that big space. What you need is the heart for planting. What you need is that intention that, look, I like to do this thing because the benefit is mammoth. The benefit is gargantuan. It's not a matter. You could even be living in maybe a first floor. Still, you can have your garden there. You can put all the Ike, all the bags that are shared in parties. You go to some parties and they will be sharing bags where they put the picture of the person has passed. As far as I'm concerned, I see it as a garden material. I harvested all the bags that my wife put at home there and I put sand into them, perforated it, and I started planting. And today you cannot imagine some of the pepper, the red pepper, yellow pepper, green pepper. When you come to Sabo Market in Ikorodu, just one red, yellow or green pepper is 1,200. Now, recently, I harvested almost about 100 green pepper. All these from just the Ike. I bought some of these, what do you call this? These takeaway. You know, these takeaway, they sell, you go to some of these eateries and they put rice there. These are things you can use to plant. The cups, the rubber cups, everything there. I bought all these things there. I planted. People were buying. I put ugu in that.
So you sell some of this produce?
Yeah, of course we sell. We sell. I mean, I've sold close to about 500. What do you call the takeaway? The takeaway thing. I've sold about 500 of it. People buying ugu. They come there. Some of them will buy the green pepper, the yellow pepper, and stuff like that.
Okay. I mean, I'm really fascinated by what you have shared now. But again, now for beginners. What are the first steps to take? You have said that the first thing is to have that heart of farming.
The heart, yeah.
So what are the first things to do? What are the tools that you need? You have mentioned that your carrier bags can be used now for farming.
Everything, yeah.
So take us through the process.
Now, you need to know. Look, let me quickly advise that while I was living as a tenant, it was a bit difficult. You know, tenants, the Lagos landlord will come, this and stuff like that. I had chickens. I had, what do you call them, goats and ram. That time, it was a big challenge. You know, the typical Lagos landlord. And since then, it became an issue for me that, look, let me move to my own place. You need space. That is the first thing. More importantly, your own space where no one can challenge you. Now, when you get there, I will advise, please put your building at the back of if it's a plot of land, at the back of the plot of land, so that you have mammoth space in front of you. When you wake up in the morning, you see it ahead of you and you go there to work. What are the things you need? You first of all need to have the implements, the farm implement. While we were doing agricultural science in secondary school, they taught us a lot of things, how to keep these implements. When you finish with them, please wash them, put oil on them, rub them with oil so that they will not rust. You see, you need the implement. Another thing you need is the rubber, the hose to carry water. You need what do you call it? The borehole on the plot of land there. You need water because the dry season will come very shortly. We are in the rainy season now. The dry season will soon come, and you will need water. For instance, when you plant vegetables, when they don't get water in just 24 hours, they start wilting. Ugu start wilting. Many of them, you need to wet them every time. You need the hose, you need the farm implements, the hoe, the cutlass, the rake. They mention them, all these things, including the glove. In fact, the uniform. There must be a particular cloth you wear to the farm. It's not just the cloth you are wearing to everywhere you put there. You must. I have a cloth I wear. I have also the what do you call this thing? The cap, the hat. Yeah, made of mat. Because of sun. You see, you need the sun. That's vitamin K. I don't know now those people who did the science there. You see, so all these things should be in place. Another thing is if you are having a garden and then you are adding livestock to it, the livestock will eat a lot of things there. So it's good to have a barbed wire where you can cordon off the garden so that the livestock will not have access to it. I have about 32 banana and plantain trees in my house there. And I have about 18 tolotolo, 18 turkeys. At a time I was having about 38 guinea fowls. I've de-emphasized the guinea fowl because it's a terrible bird. That thing you call awo, no. It got to a stage, sometimes in the middle of the night, I wouldn't sleep. Because awo will make noise any moment of the day. Sometimes in the middle of the night, they will start their noise there.
So how do you handle your neighbors? Because I know you have... That
is the challenge there. That was why I had to de-emphasize the awo there. It got to a stage, everyone in Ikorodu, in my area there, they knew that is the man, Baba Alawo. There was a day I was in the street, and late in the night, and someone was saying it in Yoruba language, say, Baba don't say awo yen. And it was like, this thing is becoming a kind of a security issue for me. Guinea fowls will make noise anytime. If just one guinea fowl start quacking there, you will hear it very far. How much more? 20 of them. It got to a stage I had to tell myself that, look, I have to stop this guinea fowl. Then I started selling them. In the northern part of Nigeria, they don't really keep them. These things wander in the farm, in the bush. But then they catch them, and then because I bought them from a Katsina.
Okay.
So that was why they brought it for me.
All right. You've talked about having the basic tools now, but I see that as someone who has a space to farm, using your apron and all that. But so for someone who does not have that space, who is in a rented apartment,
he could have the what do you call it? Like I said, the container gardening. Now you mentioned sack, beautiful. I have about 200 yam in sacks right now. You see, these sacks, what do you call it? This bag of rice, cement bag. You know, while we were building, I started putting the bags at the side there. Then we went around, gathered sand, put some compost in it, and then, you know, I have the livestock and stuff like that. We put everything there, and then we started putting it together, and then went to buy the yam, and then we started putting it. And I have about 200, it's about 210 bags now with yam, and we planted all these things in batches. You plant the first batch, maybe about 100, so that you plant the second batch, another 100, maybe another 50, then the third one, and, you know, different batches so that you don't just harvest everything at the same time. So you harvest now, you harvest later and stuff like that. You can, anything at all, as long as it's a container. God has blessed us in this part of the world. Drop a seed anywhere, it will grow. Drop a seed anywhere, be it mango, be it maize, be it tomato, anything. The water of the tomatoes that, you know, those of you who cook at home and then you wash your tomatoes, as long as the seed is there, God has blessed us here. I wonder why we are not taking opportunities of things like this.
So this will lead me to my next question now of soil quality, and then you also educate us about composing. My children decided to plant beans. So they used water containers. The father cut it and they did it in 3 batches. So only one germinated. But that one that germinated now, just over the weekend, I went to the backyard and saw that the rain has overshadowed and everything has, you know, it has died. So the other 2 that did not germinate, I was wondering what could have been the issue. So enlighten us, please.
So many things will have happened there. One could be waterlogging. You see, children not knowing that all these things has its specific requirement of water or even the soil content. For instance, some people will just go and pack some soil on the street or in the gutter, and that is not it. That's not the soil there. Of course, you can pack the soil, the sand in the gutter, but add compost to it, add manure to it. In my house there, you see, with all the livestock I have a large amount of manure there, and then I pack some of these things, I mix it up, I put some leaves, I put, you know, all these food that the remnant and stuff, rather than pour them away. Sometimes even the yam, the back of the yam, I put everything together and then put sand and then I cover it. In just 1 month, it has become compost, very, very rich for planting. Then we just spread everything everywhere, mix it with soil. Then if you put it in just a cup like this, it will shock you that it will grow. But then you don't just plant in the cup without creating the hole under,
there was no hole,
so that the water can drain. So that the water can drain. Anything you want today, there must be. I just bought about 10 bags about a few days ago. I want to plant what they call Irish potato. Now, they came. I mean, people who wanted to learn, because I've become a kind of consultant to people. Everybody coming to me, oh, how do we do this? How do we do this? See, so now, even the sack, you need to perforate it. You need to puncture it there so that it has to drain. When water gets there, water should find a way out so that it will not just become waterlogged. Once it becomes waterlogged, the seed will die. Everything needs the quantity. There is a quantity to what you put in that system. So that could be the reason. It could just maybe poor soil not having the enough manure, or the water, or maybe the sun again is another important thing. If you come to my house there are about 2 pawpaw trees by the side there, and you know pawpaw spread its leaves all over. Now, very close, the third one is far away, a bit away. All the trees I planted under those pawpaw trees, they didn't grow very well. Why? Because the pawpaw has access to sunlight. There must be access to sun at least 4 to 6 hours every day. That is the beauty of agriculture in this part of the world there. That's why agriculture is not beautiful in the other parts of the world, especially the Scandinavian countries. When you get there, the soil is just there. They cannot plant. Why? There's no sunshine. They need sunshine, these plants that we see.
All right, let's have, I think from my last question, we have been able to pinch common mistakes that beginners make. So I want you to also talk about some other common mistakes and how we can avoid it. There
are so many common mistakes that people do there. One is not knowing the place of sunlight. Photosynthesis, I'm sure, I don't know, all of us did what do you call this thing? Photosynthesis is the, I can't remember. Do you remember it?
Sunlight, water,
I can't even tell you longer, but I know what it means. That is the sunshine. See, it helps this thing to convert there. It converts some of these things into the food there. If the plant you have on a particular soil has no access to sunshine, you need to be very careful. Watch where you want to place the sacks or where you want to plant. There must be access to it. That is one. 2, the amount of water. 3, you must give this thing time. You must give it your time. Every morning when I wake up at home, the first thing I do, immediately after the family prayers, I go straight there. I check everything. I want to see the pests. There are times when some of these pests, some of them are windborne. You don't even know when they start destroying the leaves there. Some of them will hide under the leaves. You can only see the outer part of the leaves there. Sometimes I have to check. Some of us too, they don't know. They feel that, I have snails. Those snails are pests. Don't put your snails right in because they feed on the leaves. Grasshoppers. Some of them will say, grasshopper comes there. They feed on the leaves. Aphids, so many of them. So we need to watch out for things like these. You need to give your time to this plant. That is why it's very good. When we say garden, it's good for the seniors. The younger ones, maybe the younger generation, that you go to work in the morning, you come back late in the night, you hardly have time for it there. But for the seniors who have retired, that is it there. In my house there, every time, the first thing I do, every morning, that's where I go to. In the evening, I go there. I have the hose there, and I give them water. Sometimes I bless the plants. Look, I'm telling you the truth. Whatever has the ability to be spoken to has the ability to hear. I bless the plants, and I talk to them. I've seen so many things in these little things I'm doing.
So I was going to ask you that what has farming taught you about life?
It has, like I said, whatever can be spoken to has the ability to hear. There were times when some of the plants, I wouldn't know what has gone wrong. The leaves will start yellowing. Of course, it's not just about speaking to them. It's about even doing the right things. But we found out that there are times you even do the right thing, and yet it doesn't work. I go there early in the morning, I say, you plants, you are blessed. I have worked on you. I will eat from you. I will not plant these and another man eat. It's in the Bible. I bless them. I will eat of you. If there was a time, the first time we harvested the pawpaw, and I took it into the house, I called my wife and I told her that, look, let's give thanks to God. We've harvested the first pawpaw here today. We are eating of it. Some people planted and they didn't wait to eat. You see, things like this, we need to give thanks to God. I bless the plant, I will eat of you. I will not die until I eat of you. And stuff like that.
And it has been working.
It's been working for me.
All right, now let's talk about seeds or seedlings. Now, what are there factors that must be considered? Or
seedlings are issues that must be considered. The improved seedlings. Now, you can't just walk to the market and say, give me, I want to buy, what do you call it, agbado, I want to buy maize. You don't know where it is coming from. It could be from some of the poor seedlings, or maybe maize that died, or they can pick it anywhere. It's very good. It's what you give to the soil that the soil will give back to you. So when I want to buy some things, sometimes I go to more plantation in Ibadan. I know some friends who have very beautiful gardens. Some of these are greenhouses. I go there. Let me see what you have. Some of these tomatoes, you see those big red tomatoes, some of them are from Cameroon. I planted them, and imagine the level, how big the tomatoes I have there. I have not been to market since December. The same thing with the cucumber. I have stopped buying cucumbers, tomatoes, pepper, what again? That's vegetables there from the market. It sustained me just on a plot of land. It sustained me. I got everything I need there. If you come to my house now, see the cucumbers I have, they're as big as this because I got the improved seedling. In fact, since I started this, I created a WhatsApp group. I called it Home Garden. And I was shocked. People from Zambia, from Israel, they joined. And when you conduct yourself properly well, and you have a great amount of credibility, you find some of them promising that, look, I'm going to send you. I got some seedlings of watermelon. I harvested about 80 watermelon from this garden last year. Now someone sent improved seedlings. Now they show me the picture of the watermelon. You can't believe that some watermelon, they are as big as this table. I have the seedlings with me, but it's for sale.
I like the caption you put there. So you mentioned something about pests. Now, how do you deal with this pest? I know they use pesticides, and how do you ensure that it doesn't affect the
toxicity. Yeah. Just yesterday, a man called me from Abeokuta that he traveled just for about 2 days or 3 days, and he came back, the vegetables have been consumed. Look, the pests, the diseases are all over the place. The first sign of it is you'll find that your leaves, they started having holes. Immediately you see these, then you know that this thing has come. Last year, we had this challenge. In just 1 day or 2 days, this thing can destroy the whole farm. This man told me they destroyed everything in just 2 days. When I saw you two last year, I had to rush to the market. There are some, what do you call it? Some insecticide they call Rambo. I mean, so I don't look like an advertisement. You go there and buy, or you can contact me. I'll tell you how you can use all these things. But then there are some DIY, do it yourself. Things you can do to combat all these diseases or to stimulate the growth of your plant. It's not necessary that you must always buy the fertilizers. Look, the water of, some people, they parboil their rice before they eat there. That water that you throw away, it's very good. The brown sugar, it's very good. You can mix some of these things. I will not mention it to them now, so that you can mix all these things together and you apply it. Before you know it, your things are growing beautifully well, and it will not affect your health, just like you buy the fertilizers, all these NPK and stuff. You see, I tell a lot of people who come to me to learn that, look, no, be very careful with these fertilizers, because they have their what we call the side effects in the human body. So there are things you can do there, especially the compost and the droppings of the livestock. They go a very long way. If you know how to apply them, these things will help in growing all these things there. So when you see all these things there, all these insects coming, please don't panic about it. There are things you can do immediately and it will all leave that place. But then, please be very careful with those of you who love eating snails and say, oh, I have snails. The snail will destroy your farm because it feeds on the leaf. Grasshopper. The only thing that is very good in the plant there is the butterfly, because it helps in pollination.
All right, still for beginners, how do you handle it when after planting you do not get the desired
something
harvest?
Must be wrong. Something must be wrong. You need to check it out. Something must be wrong why you are not getting the desired one. It could be the soil is overused. Now, let me give you an example of what happened in my place. Before I moved there, you can imagine, some people will buy a plot of land and they will leave it. They will leave it. Some people will now go there and be cultivating year in, year out. Some will put cassava. Some will put maize. That's the common thing many of them plant. Year in, year out. You will go there and say you want to plant, what do you call it, vegetable. Now, it might not grow well.
There's something they call it in agriculture.
Now, there's something we now do now, and that's what we call crop rotation. Crop rotation, because you must know, what did I plant this year? Don't plant the same thing next year. There are some things you call a crop companionship. Planting, you call it crop companion, that you're planting maybe maize, and then there should be another thing that releases the nutrients the maize will use. For instance, it's good to plant the maize and plant the tomatoes together. They are not looking for the same thing. Okay. You understand me? So when you find someone whose soil is not producing or did not get, there must be something wrong there. 2, before you plant, please till the soil properly well and add manure to it. Add manure to it. For instance, these things you cut, maybe the grass that you cut from the things, you can also bury them immediately. It becomes fertilizer. That's what I do. Just yesterday evening, some of the tomatoes that we harvested, the leaves there, I removed everything, cut them into pieces. I excavated the soil and put all the leaves there. The leaves, exactly. The seed. No, not the seed now. No, before you plant the seed.
Okay.
The leaves now. I buried the leaves under the soil and I left it that way. Put some water. In 1-2 weeks, those leaves will become tacky. What we call take, that's fertilizer in Hausa language. Okay. Because I have some Hausa boys working with me. I speak Hausa language very well too. So many of them go, they say, oh, he has a mataki. That's it, that it has become fertilizer. Okay. So you put it there. Please, once you notice that your yield or your harvest is very poor, address the matter. Find out why. I'm available. Honestly, I'm available. Anyone who wants me to help them will be there.
Marketing will be waiting for
No,
you.
no, not marketing. Sometimes I do this thing free.
For free, all right.
Oh, suddenly I do this thing free for a lot of people.
And
It's
so,
not about money.
As we wrap up, because time time is fast spent, but it felt like we're in a master class, and I have really learned a lot. What advice do you have for someone who hasn't considered this home gardening?
You go on spending and spending and spending, buying things unnecessarily when you can cultivate it in your compound. I like to speak to the younger generation, especially
the youth. Yeah.
The youth. Immediately you get married, be you the guy or the woman, the first thing you need to do, go and get your own place. Ladies, tell your husband, let us get our place. The first thing you need to do, get your own place, not car. When you buy a car, it's a downward investment. You will be spending on it. But go and get your own place, fence it. If you are not ready to build, turn it into a garden. And you can harvest a lot of things. Put banana there. Look, my sister, I've never been short of banana in my house. Plantain. As I'm speaking with you right now, about 4 or 5 trees of plantain, they have the fruits there. We just harvested some. We've never lacked banana or plantain in my house. And do you know how much is selling one plantain, what do you call it, branch of plantain now? It's about 7,000, 8,000. So please do something about these. Those of you who've got your plot of land and you are not doing anything about it, just leave it there. Please go back there and start planting on it. It would go a very long way for you.
Insightful conversation we've had here today. Like I said, it felt like a master class. We must thank you, Dr. Bola Adewura, for sharing your expertise on this critical topic, home gardening, planting what you eat. I am very sure that everyone who paid attention to this conversation has learned a thing or two. Even those in the studio, I saw them nodding their heads, taking notes. Thank you so much again for your time.
I appreciate
and the conversation.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
The program continues shortly. Stay with us.